All right, who we are and what we do. Well, my name is Anna, and we are academic coaches. I am at the Highland campus. Our goal is to support students with general study skills, time management skills, and help y'all achieve your academic goals. We meet you where you are. You are experts in your learning and what works for you, and we help support you by providing tools that are evidence-based that can help you to reach your goals. And I'm going to pass it to Queen Samantha to introduce herself.
I am Queen Samantha, an academic coach here at ACC as well. I've been here. I'm celebrating my 3rd year this week of being an academic coach. So I'm super excited. I think we have the best gig in the college because even if we can't help you directly, we can lead you to the people that can with a nice, warm connection. And we are here to help you succeed. So our model, even though it's cheesy, at academic coaching, we help you students get better grades with less stress. So that's my goal as an academic coach. And I'm so glad you guys, as Anna has said, you're ahead of the game. You are getting it together. We're in week 2. You're setting yourself up for success. Welcome and thanks for coming. Whoops, I clicked too soon.
No, you're spot on. Okay, so our workshop objectives. So this is what we hope you walk away with feeling more confident in. We're going to talk through identifying semester academic goals, exploring time management tools such as planners, Google Calendars, and to-do lists. We also want to learn from y'all. You might have tools that are working for you that could help others. So please feel free to share in the chat. We're going to talk about building a schedule, prioritizing tasks, and barriers to effective time management. We aim to stop at about 2:45 and open it up to questions and answers. Queen, you're muted.
And I was like, I wonder if this is my slide. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us again. We have these 3 questions that we like to pose to you. What do you want to learn from this workshop? What are some of your goals for this semester? What time management tools are you already using? So you can unmute yourself, you can put it in a chat and answer to these questions. What do you want to learn on this Happy Friday? What are some of your goals for this semester? And what time management tools are you already using? Put your answers in the chat or you can unmute yourself and speak up.
So for me personally, I really kind of like Google Calendar, but I have an iPhone, so I use the calendar built into there. And I mean, I literally put everything. I used to use a physical calendar on the wall, like like the old ones you would flip up for each month.
Yep.
But then it would just like all my tasks would be literally everywhere. And so I I'd go out during the day, be like, oh, I need to write this down when I get home, and never do it. So
Yep.
having it right there on my phone helps make it a little more organized. And then I have a physical like planner that has a to-do
Yes.
list that I go into more detail with for my school assignments,
Good job.
instead of just general like dates and times.
I like that. You're ahead of the game. Zion, I see your hand is raised. Well, I thought I saw your hand raised.
Yes.
Hey, which question do you want to answer? And feel free to go in the chat because Anna is looking at the chat as well.
Okay. I guess what I want to learn from this workshop is confidence. Because most of the time I'm too like afraid of failure to try with a lot of things.
Yep.
My goals for this semester are just like making all A's because I would like to significantly improve my GPA. It was so bad last semester.
Yep. Yep.
And time management tools are like the Apple Calendar on my phone, and then lots of alarm clocks
Yes.
for like basic things like eating.
Amazing. So far, I do the same things you two shared, you do. And you see that the differences in age and what we do. yet that's a common theme. I have alerts. I have 15-minute alerts. I have alerts for everything. And it's not because I'm in the older generation. It's because I'm all over the place without them. And I have an Apple phone. I had a little anxiety attack on Monday because I made the mistake of having my phone go to the red because it wasn't charged. So then I charged it, but overnight, I guess the system went down. And when I woke up, it was nothing. And for 3 hours, I didn't really know what I needed to do, but I did write it all down. So I was able to look. And when I got to the Apple store, they gave me, they fixed it per se, but I was ready to give them $10,000 to just get all my stuff back from the cloud, everything. I didn't even know my kid's phone number. So be careful with the Apple. And it was because I guess I let it lose its power. I don't know, but it was horrible for 3 hours on Monday. And I was back, the Apple guy was like, but yeah, said that to say, have some backup. And the backup is usually the paper and a pencil type thing. Anything in the chat, Anna?
Yeah, a lot of students are using a variety of tools, which is really cool. So I'm seeing physical planners, Google Keep, Trello,
Trello. What's
OneNote,
Trello?
Trello, sticky notes,
Mhm.
Trello. I am not,
I know.
I know Trello's, is it kind of like a time management system? Is that right? I'm a learner here with Trello.
Yeah, you're able to list out your different tasks and label it which class it is and when it's due, and you're able to organize it by class and by what you're doing and what you've already finished.
Caitlin, I'm looking up Trello right now. Thank you for sharing. I
You're
love it.
welcome.
I love
So cool.
that.
I'm also reading students are using time blocking and agendas. I'm a
Mhm.
big agenda person. I was a teacher for like a long time and use agendas still to this day. Really cool.
Yes. So, whoop. Too fast, too fast. So, exploring your semester goals. Okay, Isabel, your hand's raised. Say what you say.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt real quick, but
No, it's an interactive deal. So we want that, and we plan for time for that.
okay, cool. Well, so when Anna said a time blocker, what specifically does that use? What does that mean? Because I haven't really heard of that before.
I think I meant time blocking, and I do think we're going to cover that. So it's kind of like looking at your schedule from, let's say, 8 to 8 and designating like 30-minute blocks or an hour block to focus on either a class or a task, and kind of alternating between tasks and making sure you're incorporating breaks so that it's really retaining in your brain and you're also taking care of yourself. And we'll have a visual that I hope kind of gives more clarification.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious of what other folks have to say about time blocking as well. Does that kind of help?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Of course.
Awesome. So exploring your semester goals, it's super important to identify your spring goals and prioritize them in short-term and long-term goals. And when we say goals, we know we're academically connected, but your whole self comes into that. Physical goals, emotional, educational, and professional. So for each of these areas in your life, it's important to have goals, short-term, long-term. Having them lets you see where you're heading, and it lets you check off once you get there to start something new. So what are you doing every day, every week, this semester? Are you doing what you should be doing to reach your goals? So you can share in a chat a goal and what are you doing to achieve it? You can unmute yourself a goal. Like someone said, I want to make all A's to raise my GPA. What activities are you doing every day, every week to make sure you reach that goal? Not putting anybody on the spot, but share what you're doing to reach your goals.
So for me, I have class from noon to 1:20 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on the days I don't have class, I try to spend like noon to 1 doing something that is like study related.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing to try to keep up with it.
God, we got you, Zion. You signed up for the right workshop. We got you. Any other sharers? Any activities you're doing for a goal you set for yourself? It could be professional, it could be academic, it could be family. What goals do you have this semester? And what are you doing every day, every week to reach them? Anything in the chat, Anna?
We have students that want to focus on not procrastinating as much.
Yes, good goal.
And then I put a personal goal of practicing Spanish every day. It's a 30-minute goal. And in my planner, I just put a little circle when I've completed that goal so I can see my progress.
Sí, me gusta. So, where do I get started for your goals? You may have that. Those that are wondering, as we discussed earlier, there are tools available to help you organize your time. And that's the key to succeeding, organizing your time. There are daily apps, weekly apps, monthly apps. I do all of these. I'm old and I love being old. So I still have a monthly calendar, and that includes things that I know are part of my life. Weekly, I need to know on Sunday, I set up my planner for the week, and I'm able to actually plan out when I'm doing what on a daily basis. So there are tools to organize your time. And at Academic Coaching, we have tools to help you distinguish between the due date, DUE, and the due date, DU. So you see how we're doing with those words. When things are due, your
The
assignments,
owner of that dog has also older Great Dane.
when things are
Yeah,
due,
it's really
Jessica,
more
can you mute,
personal.
please? When things are due, DUE, it's not when you actually do DO the assignment. You guys like that? Anybody had problems with knowing the differences between the two? Raise your hand, share it in the chat. Do and do. Yeah, Zion, I see your hand raised. I decided to open this window to see people. Okay, I don't know. Joy wants to be admitted. So with academic coaching, every semester, we give you an academic planner that allows you to look at the semester as a whole. We have it digitally and hard copy on every campus. You're able to plan out due dates and then see when you're going to DO those activities. So weekly, we ask that you build a schedule where you're actually creating, let me move this so I can see my screen, where you're actually creating a schedule that gives you some balance. So when you're planning it, make sure you're planning on a consistent basis. You're putting your high priority items first. You have to account for class time and study time, and you have to commit to a consistent habits and intentions, creating a routine that allows you to actually study every class every day. So in this middle block, it says account for class time and study time. Even if you're taking online classes or hybrid, we have 5 different platforms here at ACC. Do you guys know the difference between accounting for class time and study time? Raise your hand, get in the chat. Yep, so Larry, you see that there's a difference and you know that there's a difference. Isabel, your hand is raised. You want to unmute and talk about that difference?
Yeah, so I personally, for me, not only do I account for the class time, so like someone else said, I think Zion, like 12 to 1:20, but also for commuting time. Because
Yes.
if my class, so like one of my classes is at Highland and I take the train, but I do still have to commute back and forth. And so it's not just an hour and 20-minute class, it's an hour and 20-minute class and then like 45 minutes back and forth. So it's something I'm kind of bad about, but I always try at least to remember about the commute time too.
Yes. And what I want you to know is it's not a remembering situation anymore. When you create your schedule on Sundays, when we recommend it, you're going to account for that time because you're creating your schedule for the week on a daily basis. And we have a wonderful sample of a study schedule that allows you to create a routine where you're actually studying every class every day. And I'm a visual learner, so my classes are color coded. So in this example, it's 4 classes. It doesn't matter if they're in person, online, hybrid, high flex, synchronous, asynchronous, it doesn't matter. You still have to have time for sitting in class and time for studying for the class. They're 2 separate events. So I've mapped out when my classes are in dark, and I've mapped out when I'm studying for these classes. And I follow the observe 2 to 3 hour rule. So per credit hour, I should plan to study 2 to 3 hours for those classes. So if I'm taking 4 classes, I should plan throughout the week to study 4 classes times 12 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2, 24 hours to 36 hours a week. It's like a part-time job. And I don't do it all in one day, sorry. I spread it out throughout the week. So that's why you're seeing these different colors. The light colors are when I'm studying for my class. The dark colors are when I'm sitting in my class. And there's a consistent break. There's flex time throughout where I'm able to meet with the professor, meet with a study group, go do extra, anytime, anything, flex time. I get to plan it all on my Sunday as my setup day. So we give you an opportunity to see a sample schedule. If you work, you got work time here. The key is we need for you to plug in your schedule and then follow the rules where you're studying every class every day. And this gives you like a sample kind of foundation to start it. In this schedule, there's a rest day. It's on Saturday. You're going to be able to know that no academics are happening on Saturday. And you're not going to be able to panic because you know Sunday is your setup day. You'll get your syllabus for every class. Look at it, see what's coming up that week, and plan what you're studying during your study time in every class. Breaks are important. Alternating subjects are key because, as Anna mentioned, you're going to have to know that your brain is programmed to work for you, but you don't want it to become automatic where it's like, yeah, I'm studying math. That's all I'm studying. So you want to break it up. And we have a system that allows you to study 45 minutes, focus study, break 15 minutes, and then switch subjects. 45 minutes focus study, break 15 minutes, switch subjects. So your brain is engaged and it's ready to go. In order for your brain to really work for you, you need to do those breaks to eat, not eat and read and eat and study. Actually eat, take a break, sustain your brain, and sleep. Research shows 6 to 7 hours is right what your brain needs to be able to be ready and do it every day for you. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about this sample schedule? And with an individual academic coaching session, we can help you make out your schedule. You can try it a week, come back and see how it works. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns so far about this sample schedule?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Larry. Happy Friday. How are you?
How are you? I'm working, so I'm trying to do this. So I'm flipped around on this because I actually work all day, and so I have 2 more classes that are going to be added. They don't start till February or something like that, or the end of the month. And so I'm still kind of on standby because I'm doing 2, and then I got 2 more starting. But I'd like to have it figured out because I work a full-time job, like from the whole time that you got scheduled there, I'm working,
Yep.
and then the other time. So I have to figure that out, you know.
Well, you don't have to figure it out alone. What we do is we flip it. And so this will be your work time, and you're taking your break already. And then once you're out of work, you plan what you're doing during this time for your classes. So you'll still have an opportunity to plan when you're doing it. Your Friday would be in. You'll have some family time. We'll work with you and your schedule. And it happens for people. I work full time as well, and I take 2 classes online. So I'm practicing what I preach. So yeah,
Yes.
we got you. And setting an appointment to do an individual will definitely work it out for you. You can like work it a week, then we could come back and tweak it a little bit. But yeah, definitely having something to start with. You can always add your classes as they begin. So we
Excellent.
got
Thank
you. Good job.
Cool.
Thank you. Anything in the chat, Anna, before you start?
Yeah, some folks are talking about how they might eat while studying, and I think snacking while I guess I think maybe, do you want to clarify, Queen Samantha?
Okay, and I'm like, before I'm doing don't, and I did don't for a reason. When you set up a break time, that's your break. But if you're eating your lunch and studying, that's not a break. If you're eating snacks like chips, a granola bar, M&Ms, a brownie, all the things I want right now, that's different from eating and studying. So you have to know that your brain works with food and rest. So you can't kind of like steal from Peter to pay Paul. Huh? Am I old? That is such an old thing to say. But does that help to get you to not study and eat? It's different from snacking. But eating a whole meal as you're studying, nah. How does that look in a chat?
Good, but I had a question.
Yes.
Do y'all have this format available for us?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. So Anna, can you put the academic coaching webpage in the chat? And then people
Yes.
that like to multitask could go peruse our resources as we're presenting. Or I can do it because you're about to start. I can do it. Did you
Thank
already
you.
do it? You're so fast. I'll do it.
Okay, I appreciate
So
that.
I'm going to pass it on to Anna, and then I'm going to do the chat and do this other stuff. So continue on. This is so good. There you go, Anna.
Okay. So one tool that we like to emphasize is the power of creating your daily to-do list. I've already saw in the chat that a lot of folks are using different tools like Notion, Trello, sticky notes, and their planners. We want to encourage y'all to think starting every day with maybe 2 to 3 big things that you want to focus on. I use a pen and paper and I jot it down every day at the start. And other ways that you can do it is putting it in your notes app. Does anybody else use any different ways to utilize a daily to-do that they want to share?
It's kind of weird, but sometimes I will like write on my desk because it's like just white, and so I can just like try a what's that called, a magic eraser, like at the end of the day, and erase it. That way it's there, and like I can cover it up with the tiny like subtasks with like a sticky note or whatever. But yeah.
I think that's great. And I like how you're talking about the subtasks. So with each major task, there's those sub steps that we do to achieve or to complete the task. That's great. I also see Crystal talks about
reminder.
the reminder app.
Good.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping you would see, Anna. So I don't be like, and someone said this. So thank you.
I welcome. Thank
Perfect.
you. All right. So something else to think about, and I actually do this in my life, is categorizing the to-dos. So what you can do is think about your study goals, your personal goals or to-dos, any type of chores that you need to do. I even have a category for my pet because there's certain things that I have to do in the week. That way my brain can kind of see how my tasks break down according to category. I think I saw a hand raise. Did anyone want to share?
Yeah, so kind of on the last point, sometimes it's not feasible to like pull out your phone in the middle of class and write down what you need to do, or sometimes you just don't have the time to pull out your notebook, write it down, and then put it back or whatever. So I don't know if anyone else does this, but I will write on my hand sometimes so I know to like transfer it later to my phone or whatever. If I'm just super busy, like if I'm at work and I think of, oh crap, I have that assignment due tonight, I'll just write on my hand real quick, like assignment. That way I know, like I need to either put this on my phone or put it in a notebook so I know to do it later.
I used to do that, Isabel, but with the COVID, I wash my hands about 12,000 times a day. So what I've done with my phone, and remember I'm older, I do voice notes all the time. So, and in class, we expect you to have your phones because that's your computer. So I'll do a voice note or something to get me to remember, because that system stopped working for me when I wash my hands so many times a day. So yeah, so remember that.
I also like to use the voice note, and sometimes I've even messaged myself, texted myself some reminders just to keep it in my memory. Yes, Larry?
Okay, I got a question. I gotta drive to my next stop and then I can break there. Is it okay if I just kind of listen in, or do y'all record this at all, or no? I can stay online, but I just have to, because I'm at
This
work.
is
So
recorded, so safety first.
okay, I can still have you on, and I'm only driving about 10 minutes down the road. So I just want to, is it okay? I don't mean to take up your time.
Just as long as safety first. That's
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think was it Zion who talked about subtasks when you're writing out your to-do? So we do encourage y'all to think about each task, and you would break it down into a manageable piece and what are the steps. So for example, study for government tests, that's pretty broad. So a sub-step might be read chapter 2. Under that, take notes. Under that, create flashcards. And those 3 sub-steps can help you achieve the bigger goal of studying for your test. Anything anybody wants to add? Also, this is something that I'm still working on. It's that keeping reasonable expectations each day. I used to make like a 10 item to-do list, and I started to realize that I'm not achieving all of my to-dos in a day. So I had to pare back, and now I focus for 2 to 3 big goals for each day. And that's why we use that week that Queen Samantha talked about. So I can spread my to-dos into manageable pieces each day, and I'm not having to do it all at once. Any questions? Okay. All right. So here is a new tool. I want to own the fact that I am a learner with this tool. And that's what's so exciting about time management, is we can learn new ways to organize and structure our time. Has anybody heard of the Covey quadrant? Anybody use it? Is it all new? Okay. So what I learned while studying this tool is we want to focus on thinking of our tasks into important tasks, urgent tasks, not urgent, and not important. And we really want to, yeah, you can, we want to focus 80% of our time in this area. So we're going to focus on tasks that are important, but not urgent. So that means that we're entering this task in a calm state, ready to tackle it, and we have enough time to do it. That being said, life gets lifey. Sometimes there are things that are important and urgent. For example, you might be driving to class and you have a flat tire. That is not only important, it's urgent, and you have to address that in the moment. So we manage and we plan for 5% to deal with crises, emergencies, and deadlines. We also have tasks that are not urgent or not important. And I kind of think of them as that recharge, focusing 5% of your time on those tasks. Queen Samantha, do you have anything to add?
I know that in managing time, we definitely need to know that things happen. You know how they say SHIT happens. It's a way to put it where it belongs. So as you're realizing, I need to make this schedule, I need to prioritize, this Covey method allows you to place it in its box, and it allows you to have your focus time. 80% of your time, it's controlled. It's something that you're able to create that balance, yet still have that opportunity for those urgent things. So we do go into more detail in individual sessions with the Covey quadrant. It's something that you definitely should know. And I like to say, and being totally transparent, as Anna did say, I find myself way into the not important, not urgent boxes too much. So what I've done as my New Year's resolution and my spring semester difference, I've planned my not urgent and not important activities in my fillers of my day. So when I want to go check on Facebook and see who's doing what, I have it in my 15-minute break time in between classes. So it's a way to know where your time is going and then own it because it's your time and you get to control it. Any questions on the Covey quadrant? Anna, you did a great job with it and I love it. I see something in the chat. Let's see. Very, very useful tools. Yes, Austin, use it a lot. Keep using it because it helps you feel okay about when you're doing what. And it gets you to check off the list.
Thank you, Queen Samantha. So I kind of pulled an example of this quadrant focus with college students and how to think about different tasks. So something I like to point out is like taking time for those reading lecture notes, personal development. So something that enriches you personally, your academic goals or your future career goals, making time for exercise and health and goal setting. And then sometimes you might forget that an assignment's due tomorrow, and that has to be the focus of that to do. So what it really helps you do is think about what's coming up and focusing on the important tasks most of the time. That's the goal. And if we can stay in this quadrant where you're focusing on things that are important, but you still have time to prepare, that's really the goal. Okay, so if y'all can, if you have a piece of paper and a writing utensil or a notes app of sorts, let's kind of practice this quadrant. You can kind of take the paper and fold it into 4. Or if you have a notes app, like so. And then we're gonna make our quadrant. I don't think y'all can see, but I made one. So quadrant 1 will be titled urgent and important. Quadrant 2, not
We'll see it.
urgent. Okay, I'll give y'all time.
And it's just an opportunity to practice with it. We're not going to quiz you or anything like that. But yeah, it's definitely important to recognize what goes where and have it happen as it should.
When y'all are ready, if y'all could give us a thumbs up if possible, so we can know when to start moving to the examples. But take your time. Okay, so as y'all are finishing up, we have a few examples of some things that might come up in your week. And we'd like y'all to think about where you would place this in the quadrant. For example, social media, I would place this in quadrant 4 as not important, not urgent, but it is something restorative at times. So we'll give y'all about 2 or 3 minutes to sort through and place them, and then we'll talk through a few examples.
Yeah, Diego has history tests, not urgent and important. Absolutely. So are we placing these examples? You can do your examples on your own, or you can do this little activity example just for a minute or so. And then we just want you to see and get the feel of how it is to prioritize different things, activities in your life. Because life is lifey. So you might as well put it where it belongs. So we'll take less than a minute because our time is fleeting. And we want to make sure that we give you an opportunity to ask your questions, comments, or concerns. So anybody want to volunteer? What about recreational soccer game? Where would that go?
I put, because I do this a lot,
Mhm.
I put forgotten assignment due the next day in urgent and important
Yes,
because it happens to me a lot.
caught you being human. But we don't want the a lot to be the regular. So I'm thinking once you set up your Sunday schedule for the week, you'll be able to look to see what's coming up. And that won't be a lot. It'll be an occasional situation. Because we don't want you living your life in urgent important. That's pretty
Yeah, I've
frustrating.
definitely been trying to work on that.
Yeah. So yeah, looking at the Sunday setup gives you the opportunity to set yourself up. So Diego is saying the soccer game will go under urgent, depending on the time, while unimportant because it's recreational. Absolutely, because you're planning it. Good job. So they got that, Anna. So is that me or you, Anna? I forgot.
Yeah, that's you, Queen Samantha.
Oh, that's me. What are the challenges? Let me get it so I can see it. Move it. What are the challenges to successful time management? These are the ones that come up for all of us. Regularly scheduled responsibilities and commitments, priorities aligned with your goals, personal habits and choices. So these things have to be taken into consideration when you're setting up your time management schedule. The key to it is you want to create a routine. You want to know that life is lifey. Love that, Anna. And you want to be able to have some balance. So it's not unusual for these things to creep up. Just try your best to manage them. And setting boundaries, I think that's you, Anna. Is
Yeah.
that- I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. We're a team. So we always like to remind students and ourselves the importance of setting boundaries with yourself as you're working towards your academic goals. So time boundaries, that's where that time blocking can come in and staying organized, having a planning hour on Sunday so you can plan out the week, and making sure that you're structuring your time and including breaks, as those breaks help you retain and kind of process new information. We encourage y'all to think about the space. Where are you going to study? Is this a conducive and productive space for you? And what are your options? As students at ACC, you have options to study on campus. So you want to think, where will you study? Maybe at home? Where can you study at work? Can you go to a library, etc.? And is it working for you? Is also a piece to think about. And also communicating with people in your life so that they can respect that time and space and help you have that time to focus on your academic goals. And then Queen Samantha, could you elaborate on the mind part of boundary setting? Oh, oh, you're muted.
As we alluded to the eating and studying, that's that whole portion of it. Your mind, body, soul is all connected. Your mind for academics is way different than your mind for other things. So you want to feed it to have it work for you when you're using it. So when you set the time for the activity of eating, it sounds so mundane, but the two things your brain needs is sustenance, your food, and sleep. So making priority, setting the boundaries to know that if it's something you know that you're about to start studying and you walk into something that's gonna, I call it erase your groove, your studying groove, you have to protect that. So it's important to plan when you're doing what and protecting that mind, making it ready to work for you. That's all I would add to that. And now it leads us right. Oh, we're good with time. It leads us to the what now? What's next? What? Then what? Is that me or you, Anna?
I think it's you.
What are your goals? What do you need to do to work towards your goals? And what changes do you need to make? So we're coming full circle. Anybody want to share? What are your goals? What do you need to do to work towards your goals? And what changes are you going to make? You can chat it up. You can unmute. We are open to you. And this definitely leads us. It's 2:49 into our opportunity for questions, comments, or concerns.
So personally for me, I'm trying to be a lot better about procrastination. So, I mean, I know obviously one of the things to stop procrastination is to literally just stop procrastinating.
It's to
But
do it.
what would y'all recommend? Because I can't seem to quite get it.
Yeah, Anna. Anna's hand is raised.
Well, I relate to what you're sharing, so I just want
Mhm.
to own that. I think the Pomodoro timer has been really helpful for me. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I love using that. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my suggestion. I'll just kind of orient people to it if they've never heard of it. So it's a timer that you can set for, let's say, 25 minutes, and you're just going to start the task and stay focused for 25 minutes, and then take a break for 5 to 15 minutes as a reward. Maybe go for a walk, drink some water, check your phone, and then after that 5 or 15-minute break, another 25 minutes. And I think for me, the key is if I'm in a flow, I'll continue that task. But if I need to alternate, I'll change it. But I don't know if anybody else has any other suggestions for Isabel.
Let's
I
see.
know.
Chat. Go ahead. Go ahead. Unmute. Speak.
I I know for me, something that will help me stop procrastinating is just writing down my expectations for the next day the night before so I can clear my mind out before sleeping. And then also, I need better morning and nighttime routines
Mhm.
to support what I want to do that day because it's really hard to get my day started if I'm not like paying attention to self-care, stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely. Diego, thanks for sharing in the chat. I see your goals are to complete that scholarship application. And you know, a wonderful reward for completing that is that one app goes to a billion, quadrillion, million opportunities. So that one app is your lead. So you're going to create an order for your goals to complete. We like that. And organizing your goals, urgency and important. That is so, so necessary. I wanted to answer the procrastination question. I even have a t-shirt. Let me get it. Well, I don't want to waste time, but I have a t-shirt that says procrastinator, leader of tomorrow. And I wear it to get my mind out of it and to not procrastinate as much as I am just naturally. When I set up my schedule, I do what's hardest first. So I know what's going to take a bunch out of me. And I'm like, I set it up to be my first thing to do. So I've tackled it. And then the other things that are not as, challenging, I'm not procrastinating on those. So I just I guess, take the bullet by the horn. I don't know what that is, but I look at the hardest thing first. So thanks
That's a
for
great
in
tip.
this chat. Trello, I love Trello. Wait, that's old. So our next workshop is The power of effective notes. Learn how to take more effective notes from your textbook and your lectures and what to do with them afterwards. It's February 9th at 4 p.m. Like you registered for this, you could register for all of the workshops. We definitely would invite you to come to the workshops. Your presence is needed. I don't want to be the last one to speak. Anna, you want to talk about resources?
Yeah, thank you. So I also popped in the chat another link to our website where you can find more resources. We encourage you to schedule an appointment with an academic coach. This is a service that is available for you as a student, and we can kind of sit down and talk through some of the strategies that we mentioned today, as well as other academic strategies. So if you like, you can schedule an appointment. Point one, we have appointments in person, walk-in, and online. Like Queen Samantha said, please RSVP for future workshops. And if you go to the online study resource page, you're going to find more information about the tips that we shared today, as well as a plethora, so many more. And we hope to send out this workshop as a tool for y'all to watch again. And we want to celebrate y'all for being here on a Friday. You are doing a great job. Happy is it you've wrapped up this second week of the spring semester. That's a major accomplishment. Thank you all. And we've learned from y'all. I can't wait to explore Trello. Also, just practicing all these skills. I feel really motivated. I don't know about you, Queen Samantha.
I am overflowing with motivation and energy, and this has been great. We have about 6 more minutes before it's 3 o'clock. You don't have to necessarily like milk the clock, but we allowed this to be your time. So we're not just talky. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we have time for it, and we want you to be heard. Feel comfortable chatting us up, unmute yourself, whatever works for you.
This is a little off topic, but so Highland, isn't that the campus where the bookstore is?
We have a bookstore on all of our campuses.
Oh, well, because I ordered books I'm supposed to get for my classes, and it said it's at the Highland one.
There's a bookstore there.
What time does it close today? Because it was closed yesterday when I tried getting.
Wow. Let me look on it. Well, I can't look because that
I'll
means-
look. I'll see what I can find out.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. And off-topic questions, comments, or concerns are the best because we all learn, we've learned a lot on topic. Let's go off topic. So always feel comfortable asking an off-topic anything because it's opening the windows and the doors for more learning. So, but yeah, we have a bookstore on every campus. When I said that, I felt, but yeah, we do. And you have to be specific to know which bookstore your books are going to be sent to. So absolutely.
This is Larry. I got a question.
Hey, Larry, happy Friday.
Hi. I was just wondering, so will y'all continuously be there to help us? Or is this just kind of like like off and on, or we can come to you at any time?
We work all the time. Well, we don't work when school is closed, but we work during intersession. Yeah, we work all the time except for when school is closed. And with academic coaching, we have appointments available 7 days a week because I work on Saturdays. Ramon works every other Sunday. So we're covered 7 days a week.
Okay, well, thank you. That's cool. I appreciate you.
Good job. Thank you. So will you find those bookstores, the Highland Bookstore tab? Oh, you put it in the chat.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's open today until 5. You might want to call ahead just to verify.
Okay, because yeah, I tried. It said on the online thing, said something about 6, and then I called and it said it was closed from Monday to Thursday at 5, and it stays open till 6, I think, on Fridays. But I'm not really sure how, like,
Now,
it was an
it's best
automated
to
thing.
call. I know that that area is under construction. They're trying to make new and improvement services for all of us. So yeah, it's best to call or send an email because a lot of us are virtual as well. So if you send an email to the bookstore, they can maybe meet you there or something like that.
Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Because our time is 2 minutes left.
Yeah. When was that next meeting you'll have going on?
February 9th, note-taking, 4 o'clock. And you can use the link that you RSVP'd on here to do it for all of the workshops. Awesome.
Oh, just a quick note. I don't remember who said this, but someone said we have bookstores on all the campuses. We don't at Cypress, which to be fair, not a lot of people go to, but it's right where I'm at. So
I
there's
know,
no.
but we used to have a bookstore there, didn't we?
Oh,
'Cause
really?
Cypress, yeah, Cypress is my campus. It's right around the corner from where I live. I love Cypress. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
we
my
used
campus
to have a
too.
bookstore there in building 2000.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yep. But they could have closed it because after COVID hit, we had to do a little more rearranging with our campuses to make things more centralized. But yeah, we had one. I
Okay,
love
yeah.
Cypress.
I
It's
think they
one of
may
my
have
favorites.
keep it closed still.
Well, yeah, it probably is closed. And when I was in there just Tuesday, they changed it because the bookstore was in the first building. When you go to the right, it was beautiful, a big bookstore. But I noticed it was a construction thing going on there.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Also, I'm new in ACC, but anyway, I also wanted for you guys to take advantage of your embedded tutors. I
Yes.
just had it last yesterday or the other day, and it really helps for
Yes.
us students.
Yes, I agree. Our resources, I say we're resource rich here at ACC. So we want to, shine a light on them. So Clarissa, I appreciate you shining the light. Some students don't have embedded, but those that have embedded tutors, embedded coaches, embedded student instructors have more resources right there in your Blackboard. So take advantage of those. They are there for you to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you.